Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. You know, one of the great joys of founding and running ClassicsToday.com has been the opportunity to meet wonderful, intelligent critics and to tag team. In other words, to actually second them when they recommend something or despise something. And, you know, it's really kind of important because most people kind of believe, I think, that the music criticism business is all just a matter of individual opinion and subjective impression, and there are no standards and that. Well, that's true to a degree, but it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, there can be, I think, more of a consensus about quality of performance, technical virtue, sonic excellence, all of those things. And when you're working with a group of critics whose opinions you really, really respect and who have actually sometimes far more knowledge and experience than you may have in the repertoire in question, it's a joy, it's a privilege, and we get to really get behind certain recordings that are of, we believe to be, objective excellence. This is one of them. Here it is, Schubert late sonatas, the A major and the B flat major, D 959 and 960, with a Ronald Brautigam fortepiano on bis. Now, Jed Disler sunk his digits into this particular recording, and you can read that review at ClassicsToday.com. It's still on the homepage, although in the year 2786, it probably won't be anymore. Hopefully not, actually. But anyway, Jed said this was the finest period instrument Schubert piano recording since Andreas Steyer and Peter Serkin, and he's right. He is objectively correct. I can tell you that, because as soon as he recommended this thing, I whipped out my copy, which I had sitting around, and plonked it on. I actually even streamed it and listened to it on the train going back and forth to work, which tells you just how much I respect Jed, because he's Metro Northworthy. Not everybody is Metro Northworthy, but Jed certainly is. And I put this on, and oh, what a heavenly ride between Connecticut and New York. Oh, it was just marvelous. And the points that Jed makes, if you read his reviews, are all the points that I noted when I listened to it. Because you see, that's what good criticism does. It doesn't talk about subjective impressions. It talks about audible facts. And the audible facts are exactly as Jed describes them, and so we agree, because they are what they are. Anyone can hear them. You have a wonderful sounding fortepiano, first of all. A really, really decent instrument with character. Doesn't sound like a xylophone. It has widely differentiated registers. Its high register is kind of clattery. The bass register is very, very rich, and in the middle, it's a powerful instrument. It doesn't have the sustaining power of a modern grand, but so what? You can get around it if you know what you're doing, and Brautigam knows what you're doing. He knows what he's doing, pardon me. The point is that he happens to be a fabulous pianist who is playing a fortepiano, not a pianist who's hoping the fortepiano is going to sell the product because his interpretations don't have any juice behind them. I mean, that's the difference, because if you've heard his Beethoven or his Haydn or his Mozart, you know this guy can really play. I mean, he really is a wonderful, wonderful artist, and he adapts his artistry to the instrument at hand. For example, in the B-flat sonata, just listen to those trills at the beginning, in the exposition with its repeat, so you get to hear the loud trill, which is wonderful. And what that does is that every time, you hear that funny trill, the music sort of changes key and emerges up from the depths and goes in a different direction. It just gives you wonderful, wonderful sense of movement, of an adventure, of things happening. I mean, the scherzo's terrific. The slow movement sings. He knows how to gauge the climaxes for maximum impact. The finale is a little bit less less energetic than you might expect, not quite as bangy as it could have been, but I mean, it's not lacking in any sort of energy. It's obviously deliberate, and it breathes and sings, and it's wonderful. The A major sonata is thrilling. Absolutely thrilling, especially the first movement. My God, when he starts hitting those chromatic scales, you know the part I mean, right? In the exposition and elsewhere, and the instrument just seems made to play those because it does have a certain natural détaché quality, which he doesn't have to emphasize. He doesn't have to make a meal of it. It just does it, and it's powerful. It's really powerful. It's striking, stinging. Really exciting. I just love these performances. I thought they were simply marvelous. I'm thrilled that Jed enjoyed them as well, and that he turned me on to them. And so hopefully the two of us will turn you on to them as well, because they really are special. They're just marvelous. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.